What's up guys, today we're going to talk about how to put on 20 pounds of muscle without having to cook. This video is really for the guys who just are so busy that they don't have time to cook ever really, but they do want to put on muscle rapidly regardless of how fast their metabolism is or how busy they are. If that's you, well, you're watching the right video, baby girl, because I'm going to tell you exactly how to do just that. And I've done it myself, and it doesn't matter how busy you are, how hectic your schedule is, that can work for you as well. And don't worry, I'm going to dive deep into what you should eat, how much of it, why you should eat it, and all of that without having to cook. So without further ado, let's get in the video. Alright, so guys, let's get in the video right now. So how to pack on 20 pounds of muscle without having to cook. Let's fucking go. But before we get into it, I want to give you guys a little background on myself for the new viewers to make sure you get an idea of who I am. Like, who's this guy with an accent speaking? Well, I'm French, born and raised in Paris. That's why I have an accent. But I lived in the US for 7 to 8 years. I've also lived in the Caribbean for like 3 to 4 years. So my accent is all over the place. But this video is not about my accent. So let's get into my credibility statement. So number one, I used to be skinny my entire life. I was born skinny and I just basically had a fast metabolism for as long as I can remember. Like I used to struggle with gaining weight for so long. It used to be crazy. And I've tried everything and I got to about 135 pounds as you can see here. But that's after 4 years of training. That's mediocre. That's really bad. But still, that was after 4 years of training as hard as I could, doing whatever the hell I could, dirty bulking, this and that. Well, I had a very, very average to below average physique. And I know that someone who gets watching might be like, damn, I would really just want a physique like that. That's already a start. But what I want you to really understand is that that physique took me 4 months to accomplish. That took me 4 months to accomplish. And you're not supposed to be gaining that much muscle that quickly after you worked out for so long. But I did because I changed my entire approach. I changed everything I did. I stopped listening to the conventional bullshit that the other coaches say. And I've done my own thing. And I've created my own proven system. And that made my physique completely explode and the physique of other clients that I've worked with. So if I can do it, if they can do it, you fucking can as well. It doesn't matter. Because now I've helped over 100 men do the exact same thing in the 3 years of me coaching. And I went from 115 pounds to 175 pounds, ripped as fuck. And that's a picture I've taken a long time ago with camera, editing and everything. If you look at my current physique now, it's a lot better. And I've been training for so long, you're not supposed to be making that much gains after a certain time. But I did, and you can as well. But anyway, I basically tried everything from dirty bulking to all types of workout, all this stuff, but I didn't gain anything. And you watching this probably have gone through a very similar experience. You've been trying to basically pack on muscle for quite some time. Just nothing seems to work. You don't have time to cook. You're unsure what you're supposed to do. Matter of fact, you probably thought a few times that you're never going to be able to get there or do anything about it because you don't have time to cook. You can't cook. You don't want to cook. Whatever your reason is that you don't want to cook or cannot cook, you just fill yourself with the idea that it's impossible for you to pack on 20 pounds of muscle. And I'm here to tell you that's completely false. You can pack on a lot of muscle without having to cook. That's a myth, having to cook your meals to get jacked. That's a myth. And now let's get right into it. So throughout this video, we're going to be talking about how to determine where you're at, tracking and goal setting, calorie surplus and macros, and adjusting your diet to your lifestyle, which is a lifestyle that you cannot cook, and how to train to maximize muscle growth. We're going to cover all those topics. We're going to break them down so you get a good understanding and you know what to do afterward. Let's get into it. So determine where you at. First of all, I want you to understand that you need to really understand what is your beginning stage. What is your situation? Are you a beginner? Are you advanced? Are you where you are in your journey? Obviously, if you're more of a beginner or intermediate, it's going to be a lot easier than if you're advanced. If you're more of an advanced person at the gym, you might have to do a little bit more and push yourself a little bit more than if you're more at the beginning or intermediate stage. But anyway, whatever I'm going to cover in here will fit if you're advanced, if you're a newbie, if you have no idea, you never touch a weight in your entire day, in your entire life, that's going to work for you. You just need to trust the process, but you need to understand where you're starting and have some realistic expectations. Anyway, so to understand where you're starting, the first few things that you need to do is track things. After you watch this video entirely, I want you to put in your calendar or an alarm to wake yourself tomorrow morning after you use the bathroom, but before you eat any food or drink anything. That's going to be the most accurate weighting that you're going to get. So that's how you weight yourself. You're going to do that for an entire week because your weight do fluctuate. So you do want to know your average weight on a regular basis. That's going to give you the basis. Along with that, I want you to track your food. MyFitnessPal is the best app. I recommend it to everyone. You can literally take a picture of the food you're eating, and that's going to estimate it. That's not going to be 100% accurate if you do it like that, but you can literally take maybe 20 seconds to 2 minutes to log in your food in the app every day, and you get a very accurate representation of how much macros, how much calories you ate today. So you do need to track your food, because if you're not tracking, you're just guessing. If you're not tracking, you're just guessing. And when you want to get from point A to point B, you need to really track things along the way. Afterward, you can get away with not tracking, because I don't even track anymore because I don't have to. But when you want to get to from point A to point B, you need to track everything to get a good understanding of where you are first. So you're going to track all your calories and all your macros for at least a month. So you get a very good understanding of how your diet is, what you currently eat, what food you currently eat. Because one of the biggest mistake I've done is that I had never really tracked my calories before. And then I was shocked when I did, because I was completely off. I was off by like 500 to like 800 calories in what I thought I was eating. And if you just sit down and actually count your calories like you should, well, you're going to really find out a lot of very interesting things that you didn't even know about you. And that's going to be great, because that's going to be information that you know. So then you can make a game plan to get to the next level. But you need to do that first. Now, goal setting, fairly simple. Let's say that you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle in, I meant to say 90 days. I don't know why I said a week, but you're not getting 10 pounds of muscle in a week, okay? But let's say that you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle in 90 days, which is 3 months. That's very possible and fairly easy, to be honest, if you do it the right way. Your goal should be something like this: to gain about 1 pound a week. You should be gaining about 1 pound a week. You don't want to gain too much, well, that's like 3 pounds or whatever, because now you're getting fat, and you're not going to be very happy about that. Unless you just want to be 45% body fat, well, you do want to gain about 1 pound a week. And some of you guys might be like, wait, wouldn't it be more logical to maybe gain like zero point 0.5 or whatever? Guys, no one is gaining zero point 0.5 a week. Unless you're like competing, etc., you're not getting zero point 0.5 a week. Your weight fluctuates way too much to be able to really know if you're gaining zero point 0.5 a week. You're going to have to target 1 pound to 2 pounds most. You really don't want to go above that. Once you're getting to 5 pounds, you might want to slow it down a little bit and then go back to maybe 1 pound a week, or stay at the same for a few weeks and then go back at it, so you don't gain too much fat. Because the goal is that you have a very appealing physique. If you just want to be fat, well, you can just eat whatever dirty bulk until you're 45% body fat. But if you want to do it the right way, you should target about 1 pound per week. All right. I think everybody understood that. So let's get to the next pillar. Now, guys, let's talk about calories. So if after you watch this video, like I told you, you will be tracking your calories for about a month, but you don't have to wait a month before applying the things that I'm going to be laying out in here. Meaning that you can do 1 week of tracking your calories, and then you can start applying a 500 to 700 calorie surplus on your daily basis. And what that looks like is that basically, let's say you eat 2,500 calories a day, you're going to be eating about 3,000 to 3,200 a day until you hit a plateau. And what I mean by plateau is that once you can't gain any more weight on a weekly basis from that calorie surplus. Once that happens, you're going to be just staying there for about maybe 2 to 3 weeks to basically stabilize the weight. And then you're going to lower it a little bit. And that's going to stay about the same. And after that, you're going to go back to a 500 to maybe 600 calorie surplus. If you need to, obviously, because if you end up reaching your goal and hitting your goal before that, you don't have to bulk 1,000 times and get to like 5,000 calories. You don't have to do that. But obviously, if you don't hit your goal, then you're going to have to lower it at some point. But you don't need to stabilize the weight first. So you're going to have to stay at that calorie surplus range for maybe a few weeks, and then you can go down and then go up again. But anyway, the real secret is in the metabolic priming. So metabolic priming is basically, you're going to be eating about 45% carbs, 35% proteins, and 25% fat. And why is because it's the most effective. That's where you're going to be able to gain the most muscle, because you have a high level of proteins, but not too much, where you basically just force feeding yourself until you die. So that's what you want to do. That's fairly straightforward. All right, so guys, I just noticed that I was recording without my mic literally right next to me. So I'm so sorry for the quality of the audio at the beginning of the video, but I have it now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm such a silly goose. But anyway, what you should be doing as well is eat all of your calories from whole foods first. And then once you hit about maybe 200 to 400 calories above your maintenance, which is a 200 to 400 calorie surplus, then you can maybe have a 200 to 500 calorie shake, something like that. However, if you really can be in a calorie surplus without using shakes, you're doing the best thing possible, because using too much shakes will increase your water weight to a certain level. So you really don't want to rely on shakes to be getting your calories and getting your proteins in, unless you really, 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 really have to. But overall, you want to eat all of your foods from whole foods, because that's going to give you the best looking physique. The macros will be the most accurate, and you're basically going to be feeling the best. Anyway, now guys, let's get into adjusting it to your lifestyle. This is the part that a lot of you guys have been waiting for, because it's like, okay, I get the macros, I get the this, I get the that. How do I get the physique without having to cook like you said in your title? Let's get into it. So option A is this. So one of the first things you're gonna have to do is be very familiar with yourself. You're gonna have to find and choose 5 to 10 places and get familiar with them, because you're gonna be spending quite a bit of time and money into them. What I mean by that is that you're gonna have to find some places where you can really know the amount of macros, where you can really know the amount of calories that they have in the food that they sell you, and they're healthy and they're high in proteins. In other words, if you don't have time to cook because you have a very hectic schedule, or you work long hours or whatever, you're gonna have to know if there's a Chipotle, a Chick-fil-A, a Starbucks, a Panera Bread, a steakhouse, or Korean barbecue near wherever you work or wherever you are. But usually everyone tends to have Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Starbucks, Panera Bread, or some kind of steakhouse somewhere where they live, somewhere where they go, somewhere where they travel, everywhere. And those options are some of the best you're going to have, because most of the meals from those places are high in proteins and they're also very healthy on average. And guys, I put a list of the best choices of all of those places down in the bio. Check it out so you can have an idea of what the food you should be getting in those places if they're around you, if they're around you when you travel, whatever, because you can go to Starbucks when you do travel, etc. You can get to Chipotle probably anywhere you work. Same thing with Chick-fil-A and Panera Bread. And a steakhouse should be in your hometown, city, or wherever you are anyway. So you have to get very familiar with those places. And one thing that you're gonna have to do is make sure that you look up the calories and you look up the macros of the food that you will be getting over there. So you know how much you're eating, you know what you're eating, and then it's easier to be able to bulk up and stay on the right track, because you already know how much you were eating in the past. You know how much you need to be eating to be in a calorie surplus and gain muscle and gain weight. All you got to do is make sure you try all of this and be consistent, and it's impossible to fail. And option B is investing in a meal prepping company. What is a meal prepping company? Meal prepping company is basically, guess what? A company that prepares your meals. Yes. Basically, they have a wide variety of meal choices that you can choose from. And the good things about them is that they have the entire breakdown of the macros and the calories that they have in their food. And you know exactly what you're ordering as well. So it's basically the best of both worlds. And you don't have to cook because that's already cooked for you. So you put it in your fridge and you just carry it to whatever trip you have to go, or you just put it in your fridge and whenever you need to eat, you just grab it, warm it up, and just eat it. And some of the food you don't even need to warm up in the first place. I've done that so many times. I've worked personally with the company Factor that you can see here, and some other ones, but that's the ones that really stuck with me because I just love the company. The meals though will be about 12 to maybe $15 per meal. So you do need to understand that it's a more expensive option. But if you cannot cook and you don't want to cook or whatever, you probably know you're probably already spending a ton of money, because if you're not cooking, you're spending a lot of money anyway. So you're probably going to be spending the same amount of money that you're spending on a meal prepping company that you're currently spending eating out or whatever, if not less. So to be honest, you'd be probably saving quite a bit of money and eating better food and better choices, investing your money into a meal prepping company. And by the way, guys, I'm not sponsored or anything. I don't even have an affiliate link or anything. Matter of fact, maybe I should get working on all those things, but I don't have any sponsorship or anything. There's other ones that I know that are very, very credible and very good as well. And I've listed all of them in the bio as well. Check them out, look them up, and choose the one that fit your schedule and your lifestyle and what you like the most. And usually they take about 4 to 6 days to send you the food. So just make sure that you get it ahead of time so you plan for it. But if you're someone who's very busy, who has a hectic lifestyle or whatever, you should be organized, because if you're not organized, your life is hectic because you're not organized. So I'm guessing you're organized. So that shouldn't be difficult for you to just get that as well in your schedule, because that's going to save you a ton of money, ton of time, and you're going to get some gains that will make you regret not doing it sooner. But anyway, guys, Now, let's get into my recommendations. So, my recommendations would be to start ordering 1 to 2 meals out of your day, meaning that you can do maybe lunch and dinner from a meal prepping company, and then all of the meals like breakfast and snack, you can do it yourself. You can maybe do even a shake for breakfast if you really want to, but make sure you stay low on the amount of water and the milk on the shake so you don't accumulate too much water weight. Or if you have a lot of money to spend, invest in yourself, you can just order 3 to 4 meals from the meal prepping company each and every single day and maybe make yourself a shake at dinner time on top of that. If the meals that you've chosen don't add up to the amount of calories you need to be able to like be in a calorie surplus, which I'm sure that if you're eating 3 to 4 meals from a meal prepping company that you choose and you look at the calories, you can 100% get to where you want to be. And that's the best option because if you can cut back on having a shake, you're going to be having the best physique ever. Anyway, now let's get into the workout part of the entire video. So, guys, training, training, training. Training matters. Obviously, for those who don't know, diet matters more than training when it comes to putting on muscle. If you're training, you can have a bad workout and an amazing diet and gain a lot of muscle and get jacked, but you cannot have a shitty diet and a good workout and be able to get the same result. But if you have an amazing workout and an amazing diet, guess what? Whatever someone would take 5 years to get as a result, you get it in 1 year or 2 years. That's just that most people do a bunch of bullshit to begin with, and then later they're like, oh, okay, that's how you do it, like me. So, guys, what you should do is strength train 3 to 4 times out of the week. You don't need to go every day. Matter of fact, the least amount of days you can go and get the most result from those days, the best it is. Why? Because if you have a fast metabolism or you're someone who has been struggling with putting on muscle and mass, you need to go the least amount of time to burn the least amount of calories. But when you do go, you basically crush your muscle the ways they need to be crushed so they can heal and give you the muscle that you want. Which is why you want to go 3 to 4 times a week. I used to go 6 to 7 at one point, and then I switched over to 3 times a week. I gained the most muscle ever. So I'm speaking from experience as well, and my clients, same experience. That does work. So you want to focus on compound lift, bench press, barbell squat, deadlift. You can obviously do the other muscle groups, etc. as well, but you really want to lock in those three lifts as much as you can. You need to also implement supersets to your workouts. What that's going to allow you is save up a ton of time. If you're someone who's really busy, which is why you cannot cook or you don't want to cook or whatever, you do need to save as much time as possible, which is why you need to have supersets because they're going to allow you to save up a lot of time on the workout and also get you an amazing pump and also build the most muscle possible. So you need to really add this to your workout plan. Along with that, drop sets. I live and die by drop sets. Drop sets are amazing. Once I started doing drop sets, a lot of gains came out of that. So drop sets, you need to add that to your workout as well. A lot of you guys watching might be like, I don't even know what a superset is. I don't even know what a drop set is. So a superset is basically doing one exercise. Like let's say I'm doing a bicep curl, and right after it, I'm doing another one right away. No break, no nothing, right away. And after that, I take my 1 minute break, my 2 minute break, and then I do it again for another set. That's what a superset is. A drop set is the exact same thing. However, let's say I do one set of barbell curl for like 30 pounds for like 10 reps. Now I'm going to switch over to doing maybe 20 pounds for maybe another 8 to 10 reps. And I'm going to do another one that's going to be maybe like 10 pounds for like 10 to 15 reps. But that's going to be the same exact exercise. So a drop set, you do the exact same exercise, different weight. A superset, you do different exercise, whatever weight you want to do. I hope that makes sense. If that made sense, let me know in the comments. If that didn't, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll respond as fast as I can. Along with that, I would recommend you guys to rest about 1 minute and 30 seconds per set, or maybe 2 minutes, or maybe even 3 minutes. But you don't want to really stay around the 30 seconds that much because now you're doing cardio. So you want to do that along with progressive overload. Progressive overload is just training harder than last time. Let's say that this entire week you've been curling 30 pounds for 10 reps. Next week, your goal should be curling 30 pounds for maybe 11 reps, 12 reps, etc. Keep pushing yourself because pushing yourself and breaking down the muscle for it to heal will be the key to being able to build the most muscle possible, especially when you're doing strength training 3 to 4 times a week, like you should. But anyway, guys, I know that was a lot of informations, but if you implement all of those things, you will 110% get the result that you want. But there are really two decisions that you can make. You can take everything that I just said, apply it for yourself, implement it yourself. And if you actually do it, you're going to get the result that you're looking for. Or you can just click the link in my bio, book a free consultation call with me. And if you're a good fit, we'll help you implement all those things in the easiest way possible to expedite the entire process so you don't have to waste time figuring all this shit out on your own or whatever the hell is going on. And I would tell you a workout plan for your exact situation, diet plan for your exact situation, so you can eat the food you love as much as possible with no cooking so you can get the best result possible. So again, if you don't want to waste time trying to figure all this shit out, or you just don't want the headaches with it because it's a lot of information, obviously if you do implement it, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. But I do understand that it's quite a bit. So if you do click the link in my bio and book a free call, and you're someone who's actually serious, you're a go-getter, then the entire process would be expedited, no headaches, everything goes way better. But obviously, those are choices that you're gonna have to make for yourself. So you have those two choices. But on this note, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.